Hello, Professor. You're really on the move today. A lot to get done, I take it? I'm happy to help. Tell me, is there anything I can do to lighten your load a bit? Oh, surely there must be something. Don't be shy about asking for help. We're practically siblings, after all, cut from the same cloth. I was raised by Gerald just as you were, so we should have no trouble getting along. Did I not mention that? How thoughtless! What an embarrassing gaffe! My parents died when I was small, and I came to live in the monastery. It was an aimless existence. But sometimes a knight would pass by wearing magnificent armor. That knight was Gerald. And the first time he laid eyes on me, he made me his squire. What was he thinking, huh? No kidding. I don't think I'll ever fully understand his logic. Later, I heard that the squire preceding me had died of a terrible plague. I looked a bit like him and was about the same age, so Gerald thought me a suitable replacement. A little nutty, old Gerald, there's no doubt about that. Quite a character. All that was more than 30 years ago. How time flies. That's right. I wasn't even 15 years old. Well, Gerald hardly seemed to age at all. In fact, over drinks he once told me, perhaps that's a story for another day. At any rate, that's Gerald for you. One of a kind. I don't think there's anyone else quite like him. Right. Well, now you've heard my whole story. I hope that you understand now why I feel such a strong sense of attachment to you. If you're ever in a bind, just give me a holler. I'll help however I can. Indeed, indeed. Well, I'll let you get back to it. But truly, if I can take anything off your plate, don't hesitate to let me know. Hello, Professor. What brings you here? Fancy a bit of fishing? You know, I can hardly go fishing without thinking of old Gerald. He and I would just sit here, casting our lines again and again. I'm no better at it now than I was then. Not a single nibble. Just like your father. You know all the tricks of the fisherman's trade. I was hopeless at it, but he was a master. In the time it took me to catch one fish, he could fill his basket to the brim. You know, talking to you, I'm feeling very nostalgic. Why don't you join me? We can trade some stories about the old man. We spoke before about how Gerald never seemed to age, right? Once, when he was drunk, he let the secret slip. He said he'd had an infusion of crest-bearing blood, and it had greatly extended his life. Well, we'd both been drinking. I figured he was joking, so I just laughed it off. Then I asked him his age. He said he'd stopped counting after he hit 100. And he was telling the truth. In those 20 years he was away, he didn't age a bit. An incredible person, to be sure. And I probably don't know the half of it. Actually, I'd like to ask you something about Gerald, if you don't mind. When Gerald was away from the monastery, what was he like? In other words, he was exactly the same. When he was with the knights, he always found time to go fishing. He was hooked on it, you might say. He'd say there was no greater pleasure in life than sinking his teeth into a fish he'd caught and washing it down with a drink. I have to say, right now, fishing with you, it really takes me back. This feels just like the good old days, when Gerald was sitting alongside me. There you are. Hello. Oh, yes. Apologies. I'm struggling with some unpleasant thoughts. Since the war began, I've ended so many lives. You and your students got your hands dirty as well. Nobody forced you all to join the fight, of course. You did so of your own volition. Still, there must be something very wrong with the world for it to make children into killers. That's true enough. We've all gotten older. Listen to me. I'm sorry for being so glum. Well said. In truth, I don't think any expression will improve my looks. I'm a brute, no matter what face I pull. You really are just like Gerald. When I was down in the dumps, he'd cheer me up with a playful quip. He gave me his library of jokes, but when I tell one of them, nobody laughs at the punchline. They laugh at me. You, on the other hand, well, you inherited the old man's comic talents. I'm feeling pretty perky now, all thanks to you. I can't stop this war by feeling gloomy about it. Onward, to a brighter future. To tell you the truth, that was another line I picked up from Gerald. He taught me everything about life. He was more important to me than anyone in the world. Apart from you, perhaps. Oh, sure, there's that, but not only that. When I look at you or see you fighting in battle, it's like I'm seeing a sibling. But at the same time, it's like seeing something sacred and powerful. Something I must defend. You're so important to the future of Fodlan, and to me. I promise to continue protecting you with the strength of a knight and the love of a big brother. I guess that makes sense when you consider the age difference between us and my closeness to Gerald. Regardless, in the name of the captain, I swear to keep you safe. You're welcome to return the favor, should you feel so inclined. Hey, what are you doing here? Waiting for someone? Haha! You've got a knack for rib ticklers, no bones about it. We weren't planning to meet up. Anyway, things seem to have quieted down across all of Fodlan. But we can't slow down now. The work's only just begun. In fact, we'll probably be busier than ever. Ha! You do look quite worn out. But when we've got a little breathing room, I'd like to go fishing with you. We can sit by the water together and idly cast our lines, not a care in the world. It occurs to me, were you really waiting for someone? A little rendezvous, perhaps? Oh, so who is it then? Someone I know? It is, isn't it? Captain Gerald, listen up. I'll ensure that your daughter is matched with none but the worthiest partner. I'm sorry, it's just... when it comes to your life, I get emotional, you know? You've done so well. You've persisted through so many obstacles, and you just kept on fighting. I have no doubt Captain Gerald's looking down proudly from heaven right now. And of course, I'm proud of you too. I'm a very proud big brother. You could have let that one slide. At any rate, let's keep marching forward together. For Fodlan, for the captain. Of course you can count on me. As long as I live, I'll be your most faithful ally.